Welcome here. On Thursday this week at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to be going live on food security, the importance of food security. We're going to be looking at the whole spectrum of what's going on with GMOs. It's going to tie into 5G and the impact on bees and all that. We're going to look at chemical farming, polyculture, all this aspects. And I want to show you what I have here. This is a space I run. It's an urban garden. Just as an introduction, it's early in the season, but we can see a lot of garlic coming up right there. And this is a way to get outside of the system, the commercial system, be more independent, take control over the food you're bringing into your body. In this particular garden, I've taken a natural approach to the space. If there's anything I don't want, a weed or anything, I take it down, I let it drop, and it decomposes and goes back into the soil. I don't take a mechanized approach. I have a rototiller. I could rototill it, but I don't want to upset the ecosystem in here. So it's all a natural setting. And we got a lot of raspberries over here. And if you know anything about raspberries, they like to run. And what's happening now is I'm reclaiming the space in the back there, because raspberries only live for maybe 2-4 years, and then they move over, take another space. So I'm going to reclaim the space in the back and let them move forward. This here is kale from last year. I'm letting it seed. Those beautiful seeds here, I'm gonna just let them spread around the yard, and then we're gonna get more kale naturally through that. We got horseradish coming up here. In the back corner we got comfrey, which is great for making compost. It's high in nitrogen, those leaves. But this is very early on. Rhubarb. There's Egyptian onions. We got potatoes coming up here. Right there, there's that's more horseradish, more potato in the corner. There's more garlic there. There's a compost pile right here. These raspberries are spreading. I used to fight the raspberries. I just let them run now, and I reclaim the land that they're no longer using, like in the back there. I'll be using all that space for something else. And we got these are strawberries coming up that are flowering along the side there. And there's a lot of other things I've put in here. This is a squash, zucchini plant right there. This can feed a whole family easy during the summer months and into the fall. But this is just one example of what you can do. I'm sure a lot of you do your own gardening, and but this is about living a better life. And we're going to talk about food security, the importance of it, the importance of taking control of what you're putting into your body. I'm just looking at this question here. How can I test my cell phone for radiation? How can I protect myself because it's causing damage to my hands up? Yeah, we're going to do something on 5G in the next couple of weeks. We're going to do a thorough thing on 5G, Marlo. How can I protect myself? Oh, it's causing damage to my hands. Minimize the use, Marlo. That's all I can think of right now. These cell phones give out a lot of radiation, Marlo. Typically on the front of it, it's an antenna. On the back side, it's left. When I use my cell phone, I generally keep it on airplane mode. But when I want to use it, obviously it's off that. And I regulate the Wi-Fi. I screen the Wi-Fi down to a very acceptable low level, so I can enjoy the benefits of that technology. But I can't even hold them Yeah, it's unfortunate. Maybe you should stop using a cell phone. That's one possibility. Uh, but send us an email at info@nationalcitizensalliance.ca. Maybe we can come and test it and find out what's going on there. You're obviously, your body's reacting to the radiation. And there's no 5G now. There's a big fraud going on. Might as well talk about that. I think most of you are aware of it. They're selling cell phones as if they're operating at 5G. And there's also like Wi-Fi is coming out in 5G, they're claiming, but it's turned out that this is a fraud. Because we're operating in the 4G realm right now. So they're pretending, yet they're charging you extra for a 5G phone that's not even 5G. It's a complete ripoff. You assume you're getting faster service, but you're really not. So just be aware of that. This is without even considering the radiation. I wouldn't use a 5G phone that was legit, right? Because I'm concerned about the radiation that's going to be 10 times to 100 times higher. So be aware of that. We're going to have to watch that issue, but the 5G ties into this food security because it's affecting bees. It's killing bees. Worker bees don't come back. It's affecting the migration of birds, right? And they're part of the ecosystem. So I know in India that there was an actress who spoke up about 5G, so it's getting a lot of attention over there, which is great. She's saying the same things that we are, and looks like the Indian people are taking it quite seriously. And but we're looking forward to the presentation on Thursday. This is all interconnected, all these issues. We were talking about the central bank, now we're talking about food security, but they're all intertwined. Remember that. And ultimately, what's in control here are the central banks. They're controlling all these establishment governments, and they're controlling our money supply, our wealth, especially with this centralized digitalized currency that's coming. That's going to be full on track and trace of all your finances through the centralized digitalized currency. That's very concerning. What EMF reader do you recommend to purchase? Well, for 4G, it's hard to get a affordable it's hard to get an affordable 4G, I mean professional meter. They're very expensive. Ones that we use are the Acoustimeter and the Tri-Field. Diane, try those. I like the Tri-Field, but the Acoustimeter is very good. It gives you very good high output readings. The peak signal is a bit lower, but the Tri-Meter gives you a very high peak signal and lower power output. Both of them are very good for 4G. We're going to wait on the 5G. It's not urgent right now. I'm sure they have old flip phones. You could probably buy them online, Marlo. Check that out. Maybe that would help too, but I'm assuming with the flip phone, you'll still be connected into the Wi-Fi networks and the cell phone sites, so you may be getting the same radiation. But we're going to talk about these issues. We're going to bring all this up on Thursday when we talk about food security. This is looking at geoengineering, GMOs, chemical-based farming, globalism trade, where they're bringing imports from all over the world. Local versus global. We're going to look at all these issues. We're going to look at our policy. And, we came to the conclusion the other day about the importance of independence, individual independence, family independence, having more control over your life, your finances, whether the spiritual side and so forth, the social side, having control, like as parents, raising your kids. Right now, the state is taking control over your kids. Right? This is all interconnected. So we want to bring out more independence of the individual. So this here is another example. I'm taking control over the food I'm putting into our family here, right? So that's a good thing. And we're taking control. We're not relying on the commercial system, the commercial globalist system, to help feed us and provide nutrients and whatever. So I'm just going to go back to this. So this is only one approach that I've taken. I prefer a more natural approach to this. And I just let things drop. Like this is from last year. This was a plant. It was all seeded. And I've thrown all the seeds. Just let it drop. And it's naturally going to decompose. These are some garlic that were left over from last year. So they're going to decompose there and just add to the nutrients. And this here, this compost pile, is just all the stuff I don't want. You know, most of it I just let drop. But here I put it in a pile and it leaches back into the garden and adds the nutrients back in. And these garlics are very nice. They're going to be very tender when they're ready in August, early August. But this is very early on in this small garden here. There's a lot of stuff to come up yet, but we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about this on Thursday. Marlo, just be careful with that. You're obviously, something's going on there. Just be careful. Maybe back off from the phone. If you can get a holder for the phone, maybe that would help you too. If you can buy those holders and maybe have it on speaker and hold it out, maybe that would help. But yeah, get the meters. Take the radiation seriously. I know it's very positive in India because they have like a Silicon Valley. They're big in this technology, but there's a movement that's focused on health and well-being. So that's very positive to get the information out. I'm just looking at the comments here. Okay, that's it. You guys have a great weekend. I look forward to the presentation on Thursday. Stay safe, stay strong, stay independent.